stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Hello, hello. There it is. Isn't that the dance stuff? That's what we need to come up with, to find your phone dance, right? That's not a bad idea, right? Check out all your pockets. Be a much better dance standing up, though. So, let me just tell a couple people I'm live. That's kind of how it works. And we're going to be talking about unconditional love, what it is, how to obtain it. You know, first off, unconditional love comes with freedom, right? But there's going to be some work that needs to be done before we can even start to understand what love is, right? I spent years on this. I'm going to use my wife as an example, and then I have some things on my phone that I'm going to read off for us. But I kind of think my wife was the epitome of unconditional love for me. And I think we all have people in our lives that had unconditional love for us during our drinking or drugging or during our isms. Some of these people were our partners. It might be a mom, might be an auntie, might be your brother. Who knows? Who knows? But it's that person that is like, I understand that you're ill. And I'm going to, what my wife used to tell me was, because she was my girlfriend when I got sober the first time. And what she used to tell me was, Dion, I knew what you were like when you were sober. And so I'm just going to love you until you come back. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to love you till you learn to love yourself. Hi, Ingrid. Have a good day. Good day to you. Put a shrimp on a barbie. Okay, you're all in raw recovery, so I know who it is now. But it's Mandy. All right. See? Get better at this. It's because stuff is caught up. So we're at that 3-minute mark. Let's do some introductions. Welcome to Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. I'm going to be your host. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. I know you guys are right by the microphone. Hear my mad clicking. Mad. There, I moved it. So it's not right next to it anymore. All right. And if you think that this video might help, so I guess I should keep that up while I'm saying it. If you enjoyed this video, please share it. If you feel like it could help somebody else, that would be fantastic. Clarinda and Michelle, welcome. Good to have you. It says Facebook user here, but now I can see where everybody's watching from, so I can go there and see names. That's important to me. It drives me crazier that it says Facebook user coming from the group. So, but welcome all of you. Just as kind of a thing, what I do is I share my own experience, and your experience might be different. And if so, we want to hear about it. And if you want to share it, feel free to. Okay. I do not have the only experience in the world, and it's got to be shared. So, unconditional love. Let's get to it. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right. So they have some questions here. Signs. 12 signs of unconditional love to a relationship. All right. I just wanted some of the just basic ones. So there's like 6 or 7 here. I'll read these up because these will give us an idea. They take care of you in sickness and in health. Right? Marriage. Them supporting your dreams is a sign of unconditional love in a relationship. Okay? My biggest supporter is my wife. She pays for this whole thing. Always has. Okay? That's unconditional love. See, she knows that this is going to put something in place. She knows it makes me happy, and when I'm happy, I contribute more. I'm a better husband. I'm a better father. But beyond that, she realizes that if I do not give it away, I may go back to drinking. And then it goes beyond that. She knows how many people I help, and that's important to her. That's important to her and her morals. So she supports me in this. She's my biggest supporter. They handle your vulnerable side. Yeah. We do that here. Doesn't it feel neat when somebody calls you and says, I'm just having a bad day, I need somebody to talk to? Or isn't it even better, you're having a hard day, somebody noticed and calls you and said, hey, doing all right? That's unconditional love. I do that. I do that for people all the time. They'll say something on Facebook. I'm not going to write on Facebook. I'm going to call them. They're my friend. And I'm going to call them. I'm going to remind them how much I love them. Hey, I saw you on Facebook. You doing all right? Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, well, what does okay mean? All you tell me about okay. Nice, easy questions. Nice, simple answers. But we all know that if we can get that stuff off of our chest, then we tend to see it in a new light. Right? You ever had a really good idea until it came out of your mouth? Okay? This is the same thing. It's happened to me quite often. I have a great idea. Oh my gosh, never mind. Never mind. They forgive you if you mess up. They don't berate. I tell you, people with unconditional love do not berate me when I mess up. They don't. Now, they may point out things that I did wrong, but there's no name calling. And it's done out of love because I have been able to express myself well enough to these people so that they know my intentions, so they know what direction I'm going, right? Right? Hi, Patricia. Good to see you again. They put your needs above theirs. No. Who is this saying this? Bonobology. Okay. They put your needs above theirs. No. That's codependency, and I do not agree with that. I don't. My wife needs to put her needs before me. No, she is more important. Okay? And you can agree with it if you want. It's your recovery. It's your unconditional love, is it not? Okay? But unconditional love also comes with boundaries. It does. So those are signs of unconditional love. Here's some examples. An example of unconditional love is loving your partner without wanting to change them. Oh, there's the big one. That is the biggest one. You remember how everybody approached you, okay? But they wanted something. They wanted you to change. That's why it didn't work. When you're approached by somebody like you or me, who has no emotional ties to you, but just wants to help, I'm not trying to change them. That's unconditional love. All right? And it's going to be hard. It's going to be tough. Okay? With my daughter, and I don't know, we didn't discuss it because it's none of my fucking business. Okay? When we talked this last time, I did tell her, I said, I don't care if you're drinking. I don't care if you're doing other stuff. I'm going to love you for who you are in the decisions that you make. So I want you to be able to talk to me because I'm not, and I will. I'm not going to berate her on it. I can't. That is not unconditional love. I have to do it like my wife did. Love her until she can learn to love herself the way she needs to. That's my only job. That's all she needs from me right now. But it's bigger than anything it's bigger than you and me, right? Because now she's like, okay, I got my dad back in my life, and she's like, and he's got my back no matter what. Now she can go be free. Because she doesn't have to worry that if she makes a mistake that dad's going to get on her. I've never grounded my children. I've never spanked them, ever. I wasn't around, so I couldn't ground them. If I did, they wouldn't listen to me anyway. Okay. Sometimes unconditional love is just cuddling and being there so your partner can have someone who will simply be there for them. Just being available. Okay, I talked about this the other day. What I said is make it okay for people to take up space. Make it okay. I mean, my wife's love language is quality time. So I make sure I get that in. Sometimes I don't do the best at it. She reminds me, ding, 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 we're doing this, right? What does unconditional love feel like? Let's find out. With unconditional love, there is no fear or sense of uncertainty. It's pure, kind, and loving. You don't feel like you have to walk around on eggshells to placate the other person. It's safe and warm, and it's emotional space without judgment that you share with this person. That's what I like to create here. This is a safe space. Okay. For me, you may not feel that way for you, but if I create the safe space, then you're probably going to be more willing, maybe not to talk here, but to talk to another person. Oh, you know what? Dion went on and told everybody on the World Wide Web what he was doing. I think I could probably go talk to a person about what's going on with me. Okay. So sorry, I would just want to make sure I wasn't going to take any more from there first. So there's some things you got to do first. All right. And a lot of this does come down to emotional sobriety. It does. Emotional sobriety is about loving other people unconditionally. But beyond that is about loving other people appropriately. I tell almost everybody I see and talk to that I love them. Man, it can get weird. Sometimes I say it on accident to them. All right, bye, I love you. It's just I'm that way. Because I say it so much. Okay? I'd rather that accidentally came out of my mouth than a swear word, though. Okay? So, the first requirement to getting to unconditional love the first thing that you need to do is stop playing God. It's the first thing. You will not achieve it if you are trying to control the world. You need to master. Oh, get to your therapist. Love you. Trust me, we don't want you missing your therapy. Love you. I'll talk to you soon. So the first thing is that you got to quit playing God. You do. Then you need to learn the art of delayed gratification. I know it doesn't sound like it, but these are all hooks into unconditional love. See, what you need to do is you need to free everything that's blocking you from the sunlight of the Spirit. That's how you achieve unconditional love. When you sit down and do your 4-step and you talk about yourself and you do that, do you know what you're telling yourself? You're telling yourself that you love yourself enough that you're going to sit down and work through this so you can be a better person. That's what you're telling yourself. And that's why people start loving themselves again in about 6 and 7. Pen to paper is so powerful. Not texting it, not typing it. No. Pen to paper. Get a pen. If you don't have one, I'll give you one, for God's sakes. We don't make you do it in cursive, so you're off the hook. Although you should learn cursive. That's refreshing. Refreshing. So that 4-step it's pivotal in you finding yourself, because that's what you're doing. You're finally taking time to take care of yourself. Then you start going back to the doctor. Start getting in more physical exercise. You're not yelling at your kids. You're not kicking the dog. You wake up one day, you look in the mirror, your eyes are shining, and you're like, who the fuck is that? I don't know that person, but you're going to love it. Blemishes and all. Okay? It's another thing. Stop using filters and AI to tell other people what you are. Okay? Speak your own truth. Besides, those AI voices are already getting on my nerves. They're the same. They sound so electronic. They do. And when they're swearing, it just doesn't have the same umph. It doesn't have the human feeling. It'll never be able to have that portion. Anyway, we're not talking about AI and the destruction of the world when it takes over in the Matrix and all that other stuff. Absolutely, Chris. Absolutely. It's good to see you. I didn't see you pop in. Good to see you. So what's going to happen next? Well, one day something's going to happen and you're going to be like, you know what? I think that requires a boundary. And you're going to get into 6 and 7. Okay? By the time you're done with 6 and 7, you should be working on internal boundaries. Internal, not out boundaries. I have internal boundaries. Okay? What are they? My first internal boundary, I don't hang out with anybody that doesn't support me. That's my number one boundary. Okay? I decided that a couple of years ago. Okay, it wasn't this last year, but the year before was my year of healing. And all I did was heal all year, intentionally heal. And when you do that, you become something else. You become something different. Well, I don't want to say you become something different. You become your true self. Okay? And at this point, I truly am Dion. Okay? Because I've dealt with a lot of things. So when I go to when I go to therapy, what am I telling myself? I'm telling myself that I care about myself enough to talk to another person about what's going on with me so that I can be a better person to the people around me. That's what I want. I want to be that better person. I want to collect all that I can and I want to give it all the fuck away. I'm forever learning. And for some reason, I can see these nuances. I can see them. Thank you, Chris. I like him too. He's a good guy. I almost feel like it's another persona the way I talk about it. You know, what's another internal boundary that's really good? Well, if you're new in the program, don't go where there's alcohol. Just don't. Man, by the time they're done drinking, they ain't gonna remember you weren't there. Okay? Here's a boundary that I put on my sponsees. You are not allowed to go to Mexico in the first year. No Mexico. No alcoholic or addict has any business vacationing in Mexico. Okay? Until you got time under your belt. Every person that goes to Mexico says this. I'm going to try and hit some meetings. No, you're not. You're fucking lying. Or you wouldn't have said that. I tell you what, I like to go to Mexico at some time. I've never been. Okay? But I don't want to go for the alcohol and cheap ass drugs. No. I want to go because I want to see the beautiful sights. I want to see the beach. I want to enjoy that. Okay? But there's another reason. So I can go to AA meetings in another country. I think that would be neat. I'll try to go to AA. Yeah, Mexico doesn't have internet, so yeah. Patricia's like, oh, we got internet. Oh, you're not in Mexico. I'm sorry. I mix all that stuff up in South America and stuff, and I apologize. Shouldn't lump people together in ethnicity and things like that. So I apologize, Patricia. What are some other? What do you guys think? What is it that you do that creates unconditional love? What are some other ways? Just being quiet and listening. When I wrote my daughter the other day, and it all happened really fast, but I had written her, and I just said, I was just saying, oh, okay, you have English means, even better. Yeah, see? Look at this. See how Dion's wrong, and it's awesome. Oh, we'll get to Chris's first, or next. We have English meat, so I wouldn't even have to worry about it. See how even cool. God provides, man. Chris said that he went to Mexico, hit some meetings, and it was interesting. Yeah, you learn more, and I bet I bet walking in there feels just like walking into any other AA meeting. Okay, you're gonna get one thing: unconditional love. AA is unconditional love. We meet people where they are at. We guide them. We don't boss them around. There are no bosses in AA. Meeting was in English because we have to appease what, Sorry. I don't like it when people appease me. It feels wrong. Right? Oh, thank you. I think that would be awesome. Thank you, Patricia. So all of you are invited to know my country. So cool. I got friends everywhere. I got friends everywhere. I do. It's so cool. And it's all based on one thing: unconditional love. Right? So I was talking about my daughter that. So I'd written her a letter, and what I said was, I just want to let you. I just wanted to let you know that I love you and miss you, and that if you ever um, need to talk, let me know. And she wrote right back, and she said, I would like to talk to you. Okay, but from there, I let her set the conditions. So I wrote her back and I said, would you prefer Zoom or a phone call? Also, if you can give me some rules, tell me what you need from me in this so I can give it to you. And she said, I just need you to listen. Okay? What is 90% of the program? Keeping my mouth shut. Yeah, keeping my mouth shut. And I did exactly that. I didn't have to say much, but she did her night. She did my ninth step for me, pretty much. Okay? And they were hard pills to swallow. Yes, I had already accepted that I had done some of those things. But when your daughter is crying, it hurts. Okay? But she was right. She was right. And I told her so. I said, no, you're right. Those things happen. And no, they were not the right way. You're absolutely correct. And all she needed was a little validation. See, it's just not, for me, I had to do that, okay? But my intention was not to get my daughter back. That wasn't my intention. It couldn't be my intention, or it wouldn't work. No. It's whatever she decides. It's whatever she decides. And I told her that too. I said, you get to determine. So we're gonna go to lunch and we're gonna start it slow. Okay. But my intention on that was this. She needed to do that so she could move forward in life. It was trauma. My parents didn't give me that chance. No way. Not with unconditional love. Because I also decided I was not going to defend myself. Okay? And then I thought, I don't have to defend myself. I've already admitted to all of this. And she didn't want me to say, she didn't want to hear any more sorries. She didn't want to be placated. No. And I did. I told her I can't make any promises. Right? But I want you to know, I'm not the person that I was 2 years ago. I'm just not that person anymore. So she's going to take time to get to know me and get to know that person. And I get to know. That's unconditional love. Allowing her to have that, whether she's drinking or not. No. I won't do that with my child. Maybe it's a little codependent, but I don't think it is. I think I know what I'm doing. Wow, that was egotistical. I best go talk to God. I'm going to too after that line. Oh, yeah. Yep. Before I make any move, I'm going to be talking to God about it. So you got to catch what you're saying, man. I listen to what I say too. That also means that God ain't talking anymore. It's time for me to wrap up. So, all right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I love you. Peace out and have a day.